Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday, April 15th edition of the Lebanon Plan Commission meeting. I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Kelly, call the roll.
Okay. Dan Bayshore.
Here.
Diane Scott. Here. Kevin Krulik, absent. Corey Coons.
Here.
Keith Campbell.
Here.
Heather Schaller, absent. Rebecca Stanton. Here. And Lori Gross. Here.
And then also Brian Tandy is it?
Oh, Brian Tandy, yes,
Yeah.
sorry, absent.
We do have a quorum though, so we're in good shape. So with that, I would look for a motion in regards to the minutes. I believe our minutes were from February the 20th. So we have minutes from February the 20th. Anyone have a motion on those?
A motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That does carry. And we do have a new item under our opening. So with some changes in our Unified Development Ordinance, some things are an administrative approval. So you'll notice a Part D, which is the director's report. And we have Mr. Derek Warren with us this evening to give us a director's report.
Thank you, Corey. I feel honored to give the first director's report to the Plan Commission tonight as the person who is not the director. So Ben is out of town today, so that's why I'm here presenting tonight. So I will breeze through this, and if you have any questions, you'll have to email Ben. I'm just kidding. I'll try to answer those. So tonight, the director's report. As Corey mentioned, the director's report is intended to provide Plan Commission members with summaries of development plan applications to the planning office that are being reviewed administratively, and thus do not require a public hearing in front of the full Plan Commission. These items that I'm going to read about tonight were previous items that would have come to you in an application, but because of the UDO changes, they have been handled in our office internally now. So I will go over these so you all are aware of what's going on in the Planning and Zoning Department. The first one is docket number 24-10. The petitioner is Aaron Hurt, Civil and Environmental Consultants for Browning Investments. The application is for the development plan for Park 65, which we will also talk about tonight, part of their development does need your approval. The applicant is requesting development plan approval for a 4-lot industrial development called Park 65. Park 65 is located along the west side of State Road 39, just south of Interstate 65, and behind the Flying J gas station. The project will include 3 identical speculative industrial buildings that are each approximately 150,000 square feet, with the 4th lot reserved for a McAllister's Rentals, which is a tool and equipment rental company. Docket 24-12, where the petitioner is Dylan Reynolds, Space Co. Incorporated, for Lebanon Hotel Group, LLC. The application is for a development plan for a home to suites. The applicant is requesting development plan approval for a 92-room home to suites hotel that is located within the Lebanon Gateway Marketplace commercial site on the south side of South Street, just east of Interstate 65. Home 2 Suites will be located directly adjacent to the Bar Louie restaurant and Fairfield Hotel that are currently under construction by the same ownership group. The last docket number on the director's report tonight is docket number 24-16. The petitioner is Schmidt Associates for Lebanon Community School Corporation. The application is for a development plan for the Lebanon Middle School renovations. The applicant is requesting development plan approval for a series of renovations to the Lebanon Middle School building and parking areas. The renovation will add approximately 27,000 square feet to the building and change the location of the primary entrance and swap the locations of the bus and employee parking lots. Those are the items being reviewed in our office right now. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can on those if you all have any.
Great. Thank you, Derek. Commission, any questions on those projects? Seeing none, we'll move right along. I see no old business on our agenda, so we'll go ahead and move forward to new business. First up is docket 24-11, and this is that Park 65 project. Browning Investments requesting primary plat approval. And I believe Derek's going to give us a little bit of a rundown on this one.
This has been before you all previously, but the approvals have expired, so that's why we are back tonight. So I will give you kind of a brief rundown since you've heard this once before. I'll do it relatively quickly, kind of show you where the site is, and if you have any questions or if I missed something, feel free to speak up. As Corey mentioned, docket 24-11 is being heard currently. The applicant is Aaron Hurt, civil and environmental consultants representing Browning Investments. The subject property is located at the approximate address of 705 through 1055 West Cox Avenue in Lebanon, Indiana, 46052. The subject property contains 57 acres and is presently zoned light industrial, which is a new zoning classification under our UDO, a current UDO. The property history in 2021, they received several variances from the BZA. I'm not going to read the details of them. I'll give them just kind of the overview of what those were. The interstate corridor buffer was one. The parking lot perimeter landscaping was the second. Dumpster screening was the third. The dumpster location was request 4. And off-street loading berths was variance request number 5. And those variances were approved, as mentioned, by the Board of Zoning Appeals, on September 7th, 2021. May 16th of 2022 was the Plan Commission approval, the original Plan Commission approval. The proposed development by the applicant received primary plat and development plan approval from the Plan Commission at the May 22 meeting. However, these approvals have since expired, and the revisions based on the current proposed use will require new primary plat and development plan approvals. So back to the Board of Zoning Appeals on March 4th of 2024 for a conditional use. The applicant received conditional use approval to allow McAllister's Rentals to construct an equipment rental facility on the subject property. This type of use is considered a contractor's warehouse and storage facility, unenclosed, which is a conditional use in the new L1 zoning district. And that was approved at March 4th, 2024 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Okay, so moving on to the ordinance process, and somewhat new, I suppose. So I'm going to read this. Doesn't change tremendously, but with the new UDO, there is a couple of revisions. All major subdivisions require primary plat approval by the Plan Commission. Major subdivisions include those that result in the creation of more than 4 lots and or any subdivisions requiring new streets or extensions or creations of public improvements. The Plan Commission shall review the application and overall primary plat to determine if it conforms to with the minimum standards and requirements as outlined in the UDO. Why it's coming to you tonight is the Lebanon staff determined the proposed subdivision and primary plat proposes to create 4 lots, but also includes new public streets and the creation of public improvements. The plat qualifies as a major subdivision requiring Plan Commission review and approval. Therefore, the action requested is the applicant is requesting primary plat approval in order to establish 4 lots within Park 65, a proposed industrial development along the west side of State Road 39, just south of Interstate 65, and as mentioned, behind the Flying J gas station. In your packet that you received tonight were several items that were fleshed out during the TAC review. I'm not going to read those. I trust that you all did that on your own free time. And part of the approval tonight will be that they meet those TAC comments. or address those TAC comments. Right, the planning staff review. The applicant is requesting, as I mentioned, the primary plat approval for the location that was identified. The development standards that were in the civil drawings that were required to be there are minimum lot size of 5 acres. The provided lot size is 8.99 to 73. Which that may be a typo since the whole development is only 50 some acres. I apologize for that.
Impressive. Creating land.
Yes. The minimum lot width is 200 feet. And the proposal that they provided is 614 to 2,165 feet. Front setback requirement is 50 feet. They meet that exactly. The side setback, the same, 25 feet. Excuse me, not the same, but they did provide the 25 feet side setback. And the rear setback is 50 feet, which they have provided. Let me give you, just for the viewing audience, where we're talking about so that everyone is extremely clear on this. There's kind of a zoomed in picture. The Flying J is off to the right with the subject property highlighted in yellow. Cox Avenue, kind of hard to see right there, but for those of you familiar with the site, Cox Avenue is directly adjacent to 65 and is a dead end currently. The staff recommendation, excuse me. In review of the submitted primary plat as presented, Lebanon planning staff find compliance with the Unified Development Ordinance requirements for the subject site. Staff recommends approval of the subject plat contingent on the following condition. As mentioned, the following condition is the TAC comments. The applicant adequately addresses any remaining City of Lebanon TAC comments and submit for development plan approval for individual lot development prior to application for any building permits or site improvements. That concludes the staff reports submitted by the city planner, Mr. Ben Bontrager. I have nothing further to add unless you have questions.
Thank you, Derek. Commission, do we have any questions in regards to this? Just for my own curiosity, it says grass pavers. What on earth is a grass paver? On the technical plans.
Fortunately, we have the professionals in the room that could probably answer that question.
It's just curiosity. I'm sorry. Yes,
We'd love to
please
hear.
do. Yeah, applicant, please come on up.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Posick with Civil Environmental Consultants here on behalf of Aaron tonight. But yes, Corey, to answer your question, grass pavers are kind of an aggregate material or heavy duty material that grass can still grow through. So you wouldn't want it on a regular roadway that you're actively using, but I think the reference is for like boat ramps to the detention ponds. would be
Gotcha.
Grass.
Okay.
So not utilized frequently, but
Right.
can withstand the load of a vehicle if needed.
Perfect. See, I knew there was an answer. Now we all know. That's going to be a Jeopardy question someday. Just saying.
You'll be ready.
While you're at the podium, do you have anything else to add on the project?
Nope, I think Derek covered it very well. So happy to
Commission,
answer any questions.
Additional questions? All right. Thank you very much. So this is a matter of a public hearing. So at this time, I will open the public hearing on docket 24-11, which is Park 65 Browning investment request for primary plat approval. Anyone wishing to speak? Don't all move at once. Seeing no movement, we'll officially close that public hearing. And with that, I would then entertain a motion from this commission, and if I'm correct, we are looking to forward with either favorable or unfavorable recommendation. Nope, we're just approving. Gotcha. Yes, strike that. We'll make that next. So in that case, this is in reference to docket 2411, and it would be for approval or non-approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the subject plat contingent on the following conditions: that all TAC comments of the city of Lebanon be addressed.
So we've got a motion to approve. Do we have a second? We have a second on that as well. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion does carry. Thank you guys very much. Moving on then to the second item on our new business. This is docket 24-17. And this one is a vacation of a public right-of-way located between 1919 and 1923 Elizaville Road. Derek.
Correct. Thank you, Corey. Docket number 24-17. The applicant tonight is Craig Reagan. As mentioned, the property owner at 1923 Elizaville Road. Just to the south of there is 1919 Elizaville Road, which I believe they are here as well tonight. As mentioned, this is a application for a right-of-way vacation. And this is the application that goes on to the Board of Works with a recommendation. So you're not actually approving or denying this tonight.
Thank you.
Now I'm probably going to butcher this, and I don't know what the right way to say it is, even as a lifelong Lebanite. I've heard it said 100 different ways, but I'm going to go with it the way it makes sense to me. I'm going to call it the Tire Edition. Some people call it Tyree Edition.
I've always heard it Tyree.
Okay.
Always for tire. Tire.
Really? Man.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be an issue.
Tire.
How about the people that live there?
I'm outnumbered.
Tire.
Right. So I was right. Yeah. All right. Property history. Sorry, off into the weeds there. When the Tire addition to the city of Lebanon plat along Elizaville Road was established, it was determined at the time to create several points of access to the property behind and to the east of the lots platted along the road. These rights-of-way were platted in anticipation of further residential development on the remaining property, thus providing access to the potential neighborhood. This remaining property has since become a part of the Lebanon Community School Corporation, and more particularly, is being used for athletic fields that do not and will not need access from these points. The rights-of-way have essentially become driveways for the adjacent residential lots and are not used for any public purpose. The applicant is requesting to vacate the entirety of the right-of-way adjacent to the subject property, splitting 30 feet of the right-of-way to the applicant and 20 feet to the adjoining neighbor to the south. Let me show you where this is so you can follow along from home. Doesn't give you a great idea, but off to the right of the screen, you're running into the practice baseball diamond and softball fields through the gravel driveway that is currently outlined in the yellow box.
The size breakdown, does that correspond with, it looks like there's already a parcel line in there?
There is.
Is that approximately?
And you know, Corey, as I was reading through that, it's a little unconventional because typically when you deal with a right-of-way vacation, it's, you know, split right down the middle. But for whatever reason, with that line already being there, I believe.
It looks like a 30-20 split to
Yeah.
me.
It's two separate right-of-ways, is I think essentially is what it becomes. So it's splitting where those existing lines were and going to the adjacent property owners. The property owners adjacent to the subject unimproved street right-of-way have filed an application seeking to vacate said right-of-way formally, returning this area to the adjacent property owners for personal use is the vacation request. The vacation evaluation. The applicants are seeking to vacate the subject right-of-way to reflect the fact that this area was never improved for use as a street and is not used as a method to deliver utilities. The vacation would formally transfer this area to the adjacent property owners who already use this area, this area for personal use. Because this portion of street right-of-way does not currently and will never in the future operate as a street for vehicular traffic, the 50-foot vacation will have no negative impact on the city services or neighboring properties. There are some TAC comments from all the players. The sewer and water have identified that there are no utilities located in the subject right-of-way. The electric division, same. There is an electric line in the back of these properties, and Lebanon Utilities, I hope I'm not dropping this on you guys, I hope you already know, but in lieu of the right-of-way, Lebanon Utilities is requesting an easement. So in case there ever needs to be access to that electric line back there, they have the means to do so. The fire department has no issues with it, and the city of Lebanon Street Department has no issues with the vacation as well. Recommendation from the staff. In review of the submitted request for the vacation of the subject unimproved 50-foot right-of-way per the exhibit, Lebanon Planning staff recommends forwarding the vacation request to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation subject to the following condition. One condition is that the applicant record a utility easement of similar dimensions as the subject right-of-way simultaneously with the recording of the vacation ordinance documents.
So they want an easement to align with the yellow box, essentially.
Correct. And that's all I have. And Corey, I don't think it has to be exact. I think it has to be similar.
Right.
You know, if it gets into some issues with being too close to an improved like apron or something like that, 50 feet's way more than utilities needs. We can choke that down to 30 and still have plenty of access.
Do we have the width of the access point? So the driveway, by chance?
It's a well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what all the conversation has been between the two neighbors here. And you have to take into account that the lines that I'm showing you on this GIS image are not actually where those lines fall. It's the danger in showing these GIS images.
I mean, it's not going to be exact.
Yeah, it's because it's the way the airplane flies, So as far as where that actual split is in the driveway, it's certainly a shared driveway.
The driveway might be 30 feet. So all
That makes sense.
Our goal is just
You
to.
want to real quick?
I guess the point of my question was, from an easement standpoint, limit it to the width of that that way it doesn't encroach upon any dwelling.
Yeah, our goal is just to blacktop the whole gravel. So that's why we're trying to get the easement so we can take care of it. I think there is the whole easement on the backside down the whole properties. So I know the utilities drive down the backside, but yeah, they can drive down that driveway.
And just real quick, your name for the record.
Hey, it's Craig Reagan.
Perfect. Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Any other questions from the commission? Any applicants or neighbors wish to speak on the item? All right. We are public hearing, correct? So this docket is an official public hearing, so I will open that public hearing right now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to step to the podium. No one one is rushing to said podium, so we will go ahead and close the public hearing. So public hearing is official. So then I would entertain any motion in regards to forwarding to the Board of Works with a recommendation. Common Council.
I'll make a motion to forward the vacation request to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation, subject to the following condition: that the applicant record a utility easement of similar dimensions as the subject right-of-way simultaneously with the recording of the vacation ordinance documents.
So we do have a recommendation. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second for favorable recommendation. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you guys very much. Derek, thank you for your work this evening. Any other business to come before this commission? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. We've got a motion to adjourn. And it was seconded. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. We will see you for our next regularly scheduled Plan Commission meeting on Monday, May 20th.